everyone and welcome to Vlogmas Day 20. I'm finally back home and I've recovered after my Manchester road trip. I've just sorted out the video, done some laundry, haven't quite unpacked my suitcase yet, but it's coming up to lunchtime. We were going to have beans on toast because I haven't done a food shop yet. JASS found a tin of beans in the cupboard and they went off in July 2019. That's so weird because like I feel like we always have beans on rotation and they never go off. It's just one of those things that you eat all the time, which was very strange. Luckily he checked the date. So now we have bread and no beans. So we just thought, you know what, sod it, we're gonna go out and have some lunch. I need to go to the Chinese supermarket, and actually where that is, they have like an Oriental food court upstairs. It's called Bang Bang Oriental or something like that. It's not that close, but we go there all the time because there's just so much food choice and I love it. Like, you guys know how much I love Asian food, so I'm really looking forward to having some lunch there. Then I need to go to the Chinese supermarket to buy some Daikon because we're having a Korean night on Sunday with my cousins. I think they cancel quite a lot, so hopefully they are still coming, but if not, Jess and I are doing it on our own. And I need to make some Vietnamese pickles today, which is a very long story, and I need to do a regular food shop. So I'm going to go to the Chinese supermarket, buy as much as I can there, and then go to the regular supermarket. There's a Morrison's right next door, but I don't really like Morrison's. There's a big Asda right next door to that. I don't really like Morrison's or Asda, so we'll go to one or the other. Morrison's is probably easier. And then I just want to go to Wilko's because there's one nearby to get like a jar. I'll think about that and decide what I do. And then I need to collect a parcel that I missed while I was away, UPS, so that's on the way home. And yeah, then I need to come back and possibly unpack my suitcase and make the pickles, which is very exciting. Lunch is ready. Oh my god, so we basically went for Vietnamese. Jess got this last time and I was so jealous. They no longer do the banh mi, which is basically the sandwich. This is kind of like a deconstructed version, and instead of the bread you get noodles, which I think is so much better because I just think a baguette is like far too much bread. I just don't like that much bread in life. This looks so good. I got the vegetarian one, well the vegan one, and he got barbecue pork. Oh, and these are the Vietnamese pickles that I'm making later on today. Mine are never as sweet as this, I don't really know why, but these are so good. We asked for extra. It doesn't look like they put extra in. They're generally quite tight with them and they never, like they always refuse to sell them to me, which is why I've had to resort to making my own. Oh my god, lunch was so good, wasn't it? Yep. That deconstructed bibimbap was incredible. Okay, I'm gonna hide under the shelter here while I talk to you. So good. The place is called Cafe La Viette. I'm not sure if they have like other branches anywhere. If they do, definitely check it out. But now we're gonna go to the supermarket and buy some Daikon. Very exciting. Look at the size of these apples. This is my hand for comparison. Wow. What else do we need, Jess? Where's my list? Are these the chilies they use? It's a lot though. Almost 3 hours later, we are home. Jess has made me a nice cup of tea in my Christmas mug. These are really weird because you can't actually see them, but it's got Rudolph. I can't twist my hand around anymore. We bought some chocolate from the supermarket. We're gonna have a little treat. I'm gonna like watch Klaus, which was a Christmas film that me and Jess started a few weeks ago, and I fell asleep halfway through it. Oh, the night before we went to Oslo, that's when we started watching it. So he's seen it, I haven't, he's got some work to do. I can't actually show you my living room because we've just bought a few presents. They're lying around, and I need to wrap a couple of presents, but I want to make my pickles. In fact, I'm going to have my tea and my chocolate. I'm going to like try and set up a little thing where I can like peel and chop veg in front of the TV because it takes forever and it's so boring standing in the kitchen and doing it. So I thought I'd do it in front of like while watching a Christmas movie. As you can see, I bought a lot of carrots. I've saved a few. There were like 2 packs of these, but I've saved a few for dinner on Sunday. And I bought 2 daikons this time. Last time I did it with 1, but making double the amount this time because it just wasn't enough for everybody. I'm making a few as like kind of Christmas presents or just gifts for people as well. Don't ask, everyone I know is obsessed with Vietnamese pickles. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I need to peel and like really finely chop these. Oh, actually, in fact, last time I did it all by hand, but my gran bought me this. I went shopping with my gran, I went to buy it myself, but she paid for it. So I'm hoping this will save me some time and it will chop it a lot finer than I can by hand. So we're going to give this a go. I'm going to do this in front of the TV. So I'm going to set it all up and use this big mixing bowl to put it all into. It's just a bit easier. Oh my god, we're having like technical difficulties. That Vegetti thing, that sounds so rude.
It's small though.
I always grate my fingernails though. Jazz is trying with a grater. You have to do it like at an angle so it's long. No, but this turns to mush. This is a bit too fine with the grater. This was actually perfect with the stupid spiralizer, but it's just not working because you have to like grip hold of the carrot with this and obviously it breaks. And this is me chopping it by hand, which is what I did last time. But I mean, come on, this is going to take me forever. This is ridiculous. Like, what a stupid contraption. I've always thought that JML devices don't actually work, but this is just beyond ridiculous. I'm sorry, like, what the hell is this? What should we do, Jas?
Well, I've never seen a useless device like that before.
It's so shit. I think when you grate it, it's just too fine. So Jas just found this carrot sharpener that I bought from Tiger. It does great things, but this is not what I was like. Hey, this is what Chinese restaurants do to get those flowers.
Looks like it.
Oh my god, that's so cool. That's not quite what. Oh my god, this is a joke, Jas. What have I? Oh my god, like what have I taken on Friday night? Seriously, what is my life? So Jas has discovered this, which is basically like a peeler, and it's a bit too fat. If you chop it to the sort of size that you want, the width, and then this is still going to take forever. Oh, I want to ruin my nails and do this. If we can do this quick enough, it would be great. This is not too bad. I mean, oh, this is a joke. Who knew this would turn out to be a 2-man job? Jas has now found an old school potato peeler. No, but
it's easy, look.
No, Jas, you're flinging carrots everywhere. The point is they're too fat, so you have to cut the carrot in half. Oh, this is a nightmare. And yeah, I'm just going to come back to you guys once I've done something. Because so far we're only 1 carrot down, 86,400 more to go. Oh my god. What is he doing? He's changed the blade to the bigger size, and he's kind of figured out how to do it, but you do waste a lot of the carrot doing it this way because it doesn't, like, you can't get all the way to the end with it. And now he's trying to like spiralize the whole bloody daikon. Here's me like chopping it all up into like, little pieces and stuff, and this is what Jas is doing. If it works though, like my hand is killing me, I need to take a break, so if it works I'm not complaining. That's the one I'll give to other people, and I'll keep the one that I've done for myself, or ourself. This is what I've done so far. Oh, sorry, it's all on the floor, but this is as fine as I could chop it. Carrot is actually really hard to chop compared to daikon. Daikon's a lot softer, but there we go. Oh my god, what the hell's that?
It looks like an alien.
That looks so wrong.
I know. That's bad.
That's gross. Okay, can you please just, here, yeah, put that way. Oh my god, we're finally done. I'm not even joking when I say that this took over 2 hours to do. We stopped multiple times, tried so many different tools. I even called my uncle to see if they have a spiralizer. Turns out theirs is like older than ours and like worse. And then JASS kind of figured it out. So in this bowl, he has spiralized all the daikon and the carrots. The only problem with that is you get so much of it is like wasted. You get like this much off the top of a carrot and the daikon that gets wasted. So then I added it all to my chopped pile, and this is the stuff that I hand chopped myself. This is actually how I made it last time, but since we had Vietnamese for lunch, JASS was like, no, let's make it properly. This is how they have it. This is actually how they have it. This was fine last time. So now what I'm going to do is sprinkle like tons of salt over both of these, mix it up and leave it to sit for 20 minutes. That will just draw the moisture out. Attempting to vlog with my left hand, which is never a good idea, but here's some salt. I'm just going to be really generous with this, and this will just draw all the moisture out of these and make them a little bit softer. And yeah, that should do it. And this one, I have nowhere to perch you up, and because this all took so long, it's really dark in my kitchen too. I'm just going to mix it up like this with both my hands, do the same with this one, and leave it to rest for 20 minutes, and I'll show you what I do in the meantime. It's been about 20 minutes, and in that space of time, JASS has ordered a delivery because we realised that we haven't eaten, and all we've been concentrating on for the past 3.5 hours is pickles. This is becoming absolutely ridiculous. So we've ordered a takeaway and it's almost here. But this one, you can see that the moisture has really been drawn out by that salt. This one probably needs a little bit more time. I'm going to do them in 2 separate batches because this is just a bit nicer. And like I said, I've made a ton of it because I'm making them as like kind of gifts for people. So this will be like the nice stuff that I give away to people, and this will be what we have at home / give to my sister and family, like depending on how much we have. So now the plan is to rinse all the salt off this. I'm going to put this into a colander and just like run really cold water all over it and just like basically wash as much of the salt off as I can. Right, I've got one of those colanders that rests on your sink, which is great. Right, so I've rinsed off all the salt, and this just needs to sit for a little while just to sort of drain, and you want it to like, ideally you want to kind of squash it just so that all the moisture comes out, but because this is a colander, I'm hoping that it will just do it for me while I go and have dinner, and I'll be back. Oh, look at this egg curry. Yes, and we're catching up with The Apprentice. Right, it's been about half an hour. Excuse all this mess in my kitchen. I can't do this. I have drained out as much of the excess liquid from the vegetables as possible and tightly packed them in this jar. This one isn't full yet because I've got the second batch draining. So I now need to make the solution to pickle them in, and it's really, really easy. So I'm using this mug as a cup measurement because in the UK we don't actually use cups, I think. And I have 1 cup full of sugar. I'm actually using a mug because I've obviously made tons of pickles, and I just kind of follow the same ratio, so it doesn't really matter if you do it in like a teacup or a shot glass, which obviously won't be enough, but just use the same mug to measure things in. So I've got 1 cup of sugar, and I actually add a little bit extra. This is how I sort of tweak my recipe. I'm using golden caster sugar. I don't know the first thing about sugar. This is what I bought because we don't like bake and we don't have sugar in tea and coffee, so we never have it in the house, and this is just what I found. So I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I just always add a little bit extra just because, you know, you want it a little bit sweeter. Maybe like 1/8 of a cup, but you can obviously add more if you want your pickles to be sweeter. Then I'm going to add 1 cup of white vinegar, or this is distilled malt vinegar. I assume it's the same thing. That was so good. I had exactly enough to fill this mug that was left over in that white vinegar from last time. So I'll pour that in here, and then I'll add 2 cups of cold tap water. Right, so I've just whisked this all up, and I think the sugar has dissolved. I'm going to keep going for a little bit, just in case it hasn't. I can't feel any bits with the whisk, but you never know. And then I've actually poured it into like one of these jug things. I don't actually bake, don't ask me why I have these sorts of utensils. I just have random stuff in my house. But if you have like a Pyrex jug or anything like that, it's just a bit easier if it has a lip. And then all you need to do is pour this liquid into the jar and just make sure you've covered like all the vegetables, and that is it. You just stick it in the fridge, and it takes about 24 hours to marinate in the fridge, and it lasts for 2 to 3 months, I believe. It doesn't in our house, it lasts for about a week, but you know, same for my sister as well. So I'm gonna give her this big jar. I'm gonna fill it up to the top with the other vegetables in a bit. And yeah, I'll come back to you once I'm all done and show you the end result. Woohoo! I'm finally done and I filled 4 of these jars up. I'm so sorry that my camera takes forever to autofocus and the lighting in this kitchen is terrible. But I'm really happy I managed to fill all these jars up and cover all the vegetables. And I haven't actually wasted too much liquid, so using a big mug was a good shout. So yeah, I'm very pleased with these. I'm going to put the lids on these and that one, bin the rest of that liquid and put these in the fridge. My work is finally done. Woohoo! Also, it's just a quick side note, these are the 2 artisan spirits that we picked up at the Manchester Christmas markets. That salted caramel gin is incredible, as is that fig rum liqueur. We're going to take these to Leicester for Christmas and probably have the fig rum with the cheese board and the salted caramel gin just as dessert or whatever. They're just so good. I'm so glad my pickles are finally done. That was such a long-winded process. I promise it doesn't normally take that long. It's just because everything was going wrong today. But we've had dinner and we watched half of The Apprentice, so we're going to finish the other half now that the pickles are safe and sound in the fridge. I've decided I'm also going to write the recipe up and post this video on my blog. So just search for Vietnamese pickles or whatever, just because I think it'll be a bit easier to follow if it's like written down rather than you trying to follow what I'm doing on the video. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you tomorrow with day 21. Bye!